Hello, friends. It's good to come your way again. I'm excited our path crossed this afternoon, morning, evening, night. It depends on where you are seeing me or watching me from around the globe. I am excited that the Lord has given us an opportunity to share. When we share like this, we absolutely gift ourselves the opportunity to access information that makes it easier to accept the required knowledge, designed to help us transit in our walk with God, in our walk with one another, and especially in the institution of marriage as we journey through our own processes, marital processes, and marital, experiences. I saw something in Isaiah I feel and obliged would be very needed and useful if we must share. Isaiah chapter 34, and let's see how that place really can help reposition us and help us become exactly who the Lord wants us to become. In Isaiah chapter 34, the Bible said in verse number 14, as usual, I will read uh, from two translations of NLT and Amplified. The wild animals of the desert will mingle there with hyenas, their hordes filling the night. White goats will bleat at one another among the ruins, and night creatures will come there to rest. Now, Amplified actually puts it this way: and the wild beasts of the desert will meet here with howling creatures, wolves, and hyenas, and the shaggy white goat will come to his fellow. The night monsters will settle there and find a place of rest. Find a place of rest. If we have to read further, the Bible said in verse number 15, there the owl will make her nest and lay her eggs. She will hatch her young and cover them with her wings. And the vultures will come, each one with his mate. The vultures will come, each one with his mate. There shall the arrow snake, Amplified 6, make her nest, and lay her eggs, and hatch them, and gather her young under her shade. There shall the kites be gathered also to breed, everyone with his mate. Now, I love the way verse 16 puts it. Verse 15 says, search the book of the Lord and see what he will do. He will not miss a single detail. Not one of these birds and animals will be missing, and none will lack a mate, for the Lord had promised this his spirit. His spirit, the Lord's spirit, will make it all come true. Amplified says, seek out the book of the Lord and read not one of these. And read, not one of these details of prophecy shall fail, none shall want and lack her mate in fulfillment. For the mouth of the Lord has commanded, and his spirit has gathered them. This is amazing. This is a pronouncement that the Bible made concerning the city of the kingdom of Edom. It was supposed to be a judgment passed on the city of Edom. This is about their involvements and the role they played, against the children of Israel on their transit to the promised land. So God actually promised that it shall be called a land of nothing. God said, I will waste it. I will make their princes and their princes no more, to the point that no inhabitant will be found in the land anymore. In fact, the Bible said animals will invade the land forever, and it shall become a place where animals will assemble and then will congregate. One of the major issues for me is that it is a prophetic release by a major prophet by name Isaiah, and God was detailing the fact that the pronouncement of the judgment is that even the palaces will be occupied by all kinds of wild animals, the hyenas, the lions, whatever it is. The Bible said even the night monsters, they shall come there, they will lay their eggs, and they will be able to procreate, and they will be at peace, they will accommodate, and they inhabit the whole place. And the Bible said, even in that place, the vultures shall come. And the Bible said, the vultures shall come and lay there and live there with his mate. Now, how would the prophetic release of God, the prophetic judgment of God, consign animals, consign the birds, to the point that the Bible was able to pick up the fact that even the vultures gathered with their mates? How would God give vultures mates and not give humans? How will I miss my wife or my husband if vultures are not allowed to miss out on their own? This is very instructive. Are animals not allowed and permitted to mingle? They don't pay dowry. They are not responsible to one spouse. They are not even supposed to be accountable in terms of faithfulness. Yet the Bible said God had given the vulture a mate. This is amazing. If a vulture is expected to have a mate, what about us? What about us? It is the plan of God. Even in the place of judgment, God did not rule out marriage. God did not rule out relationship for birds. You must understand that, you see, marriage is not something that is contracted within the atmosphere of convenience. I mean, there is a place where judgment was released. The land has to be in ruin. There were all kinds of animals, there were all kinds of birds gathered. But God was specific about a bird called vulture. And God said they gathered also with their own mates. And the Bible said this prophecy will come to pass. No detail of it will be missing. And none of these birds is permitted to miss his mate. They absolutely will not miss their mate. Now, if you look at this, very carefully and look at it the way God, from God's perspective, you will understand that there is no excuse as to why you will not enjoy your marriage. You see, it's supposed to be a land of ruin. Yet God expected that even the birds will gather with their mates. I understand there are issues. I understand there are family issues, standing historical family issues. I understand there are spiritual conditions, that has placed on serious, unbelievable, inexplainable pressure on your marriage. Probably it's because you may not have children, maybe there's no money, or maybe you have this kind of in-laws, or mother-in-law, this kind of health issues and all that, and now there are unbelievable pressure in your home. Yet the Bible said in the place of judgment where Edom is desolated, where Edom has become a wasted land. The Bible said, yet God was careful to mention that the vulture came with his mate. Now look at God. You must understand that there were so many animals and so many birds that gathered, but the Bible said that it was the vulture that came with his mate. Now, in other words, it wasn't the dove, it wasn't the eagle, it wasn't a decent, animal or bird. It was the vulture. It was the vulture that came with his mate. Now, honey, listen, this is amazing. The vulture is believed to be an unclean bird, a bad bird. Nobody wants to mingle with the vulture. It is believed that the vulture is a bad omen. But understand that no matter how bad it is qualified to have a mate. I understand that your husband is a bad man. Your wife has a bad attitude. But that's why a vulture is given mate. If a vulture is given a mate, irrespective of how bad the bird is, irrespective of the ugly perception around it, yet a bird was, a mate was given to it. How then would you think that the bad character of your spouse, how bad, your husband is, how bad your wife is, should be the disqualification for marriage? Listen to me. No matter how bad, it has turned out, God is the one who gave you the person that is in your life. I mean, I do not believe that anybody would have would have mispicked. I believe that no matter what it takes, who it is that you are married, no matter the situation that absolutely surrounding the story of your marriage, I believe that God allowed that person in your life. Nobody would have married your husband but you. Nobody would have lived with your wife but you. You see, the point there is that the vulture is qualified for a mate. You see, this is the reason sometimes you just see how God does his things. You see some ladies who have lived a very terrible life marrying good men. Then some men who have lived terrible lives marrying, good women, good wives. Because even a vulture is qualified for a mate. A vulture is qualified for a mate. Now understand also that a vulture does not eat a living thing. It eats a dead thing. Until that thing is dead, it's not yet a food for a vulture. Please listen to me. You see, one of the reasons why we are not enjoying each other is that we are alive to so many things. We are alive to ego. And we can feed and enjoy each other. We are alive to ego, we are alive to pride, we are alive to me, I, me. We are alive to disrespect, we are alive to disloyalty to our wives, disrespect to our husbands. We are alive to other relationships out there. We are alive to so many distractions out there, and is affecting the core of our calling. You must understand that marriage is calling. Marriage is a union that actually gives position, that allows you the position to determine the next generation. So it's a calling. It's a calling. It's a calling. Now, one of the things that I feel in my spirit is important to communicate is that until we are dead to certain realities, we can't enjoy each other. No matter how palatable the food is, no vulture eats it until it is a dead food. So are you dead to pride? Have you died? Have you died to self? Have you died to distractions? Have you died to people coming into your space to tell you how to marry? Are you dead to the influences outside there? Are you dead, to the urge to walk out of your marriage? And I know, because your wife cannot enjoy you, your husband cannot enjoy you until you are a dead person. You are dead to insult. You are dead, to ego. You can let go certain things that are promoting disunity, that are creating discord, and then disintegrating your marriage and planting rancor. You can't forgive. I mean, the hurt is there for years and you're still holding on to it. What are you dead to? What are you dead to? The Bible said in verse 15 and verse 15 of chapter 34, the book of Isaiah, that even the vultures have their mates. In other words, they don't feed on living things. Until we are dead to certain things that have actually, opened our eyes to the weaknesses of our spouses, weaknesses of our partners. We cannot feed on the uniqueness of our partners. Everybody has weakness. Everybody has strength. Until you are dead to the weakness of your partner, you cannot absolutely enjoy and feed, the palatable, nourishable, good side of your partner. This is important to grasp. This is important to grasp. Now, I want to trust that you are listening to me. Another thing is that the Bible didn't say that the vulture actually married or had a mate with the eagle. It is vulture versus vulture. Don't come and tell me that my wife is wrong. My husband has weakness. Vultures are vultures. They are, they have weaknesses. You see, as bad as your wife is, you also have your weak side. You also have your bad side. We are all vultures. Yet God has given us the privilege to enjoy each other. Now, this is a mystery. This is awesome. Am I going to concentrate on the weakness of my wife, forgetting that I am also a vulture? I'm also a vulture. I'm also a vulture. Why would God not give eagles mate? Why would he give vultures mate? Because, you see, irrespective of how bad it is, there is something about you that makes room for a good family. And we must concentrate. Look, I have to forgive you. For every house, is permitted to have a dustbin. And then no matter how beautiful the edifice is, it has the permission to produce rubbish. And you must make provisions for that. You must make provisions for that. So every vulture marries a vulture. Every vulture marries a vulture. And the Bible said, listen, the Bible said, none will miss out his mate. So I believe that what God is saying to you right now is stop concentrating on the weakness of your spouse. You must understand that there are a few things I'm going to be talking about on the 27th of February, the last Sunday, this coming Sunday of February, at 218 Lounge, opposite Radio Rivers, Elelonwa, River State, Port Harcourt, River State, Nigeria. Because God has given me a word for couples. God has given me a word for couples. Stop going around reporting, your spouse. Reporting your spouse to your people, to your friends. You too, you are a vulture. You have your weakness. You have your weakness. Ignore the nature. That's who we are. We are vultures. Ignore the nature and enjoy yourselves. We all are trapped in this mess. And we just have to find a way, to mingle, to enjoy ourselves. Now, you can't change nobody. You didn't marry your wife to change her. You married your wife to enjoy her. And then in enjoying what is good about her, she will lose track of what is bad. Anything you keep talking about, people become conscious of. That's how Laban lost almost everything. Because now Jacob had to make all the animals look at something that he wanted them to procreate. He wanted them to reflect as they procreate. And the more they look at it, is the more they become it. Whatever you always talk about becomes the picture your spouse sees and becomes the image your spouse responds to. So you must know that we are all vultures, yet he gave us mates. He gave us mates. Is that not instructive? That as vultures, we are qualified to have our mates? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. There is something to enjoy. There is something to enjoy about your home. There is something to enjoy about your marriage. There is something to enjoy about your spouse. Come on, honey. It is time to really enjoy it. Oh, let the heart go. Let it slide. Take up the mantle of a husband. Take up the position of a wife. I can't think of a better arrangement. God made you a wife, made me a husband, made you a husband, made her a wife. I can't think of a better arrangement. And be a wife. Be a wife in its entirety. Now, I understand that you don't like, the way your husband behaves sometimes. That's why he's a vulture. But what do you like about him? What do you like about him? Is there anything, can there be anything you will appreciate about him? So keep pushing that. Keep pushing that narrative. Keep talking about it. Keep presenting it. Concentrate on his strength. Concentrate on her strength. Let's build on those. It could be one, and so if it's one, it's enough. So keep talking about the one. The more you talk about it, is the more the person sees the need to make it two, to increase it to three, until it becomes an overwhelming possibilities for so many number of good attributes and qualities. I believe that God gave you your mate. God gave you that person. Stop regretting. Stop regretting. Stop complaining. God is explaining. Stop regretting. It is time to enjoy your spouse. I'll wait for you on the 27th of February, this coming Sunday by 3 p.m. at 218 Lounge. It is opposite Radio Rivers, Port Harcourt, River State. Elelemo here. I'll be waiting. God bless you. See you around.